Wanting some insight into what it's like to be abused both mentally and emotionally just for being gay, I sat down with two of my lesbian friends. And yes, I know that's blasphemy to some people, but I do have gay friends. And I asked them about their personal experiences. I have not met one homosexual who has not had some kind of bad experience or mistreatment or something.
Absolutely.
Would you relate to that?
Oh, yes, definitely. In high school, somebody beat me up and hit me against a locker, like hit my head into a locker because they were calling me a dyke.
Many religious people believe that gay marriage and abortion are the moral issues, not the bigger or small ones. They are the moral issues of our time. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that that's kind of thinking inside a very small box. You know, there's much bigger problems. Not saying that gay marriage isn't important to me, you know, especially, but there are such bigger things affecting us right now that, you know, if we don't take care of, will end in death, like world hunger, like global warming. You know, I think people are too worried about whether gay people are trying to recruit them or scared they're ruining the sanctity of marriage when, you know, there's kids out there with swollen bellies that haven't had a meal in days, maybe weeks. I think there are much bigger issues to address.
There's bigger fish to fry?
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think as far as, I mean, on a personal note, as far as gay marriage goes, I don't really believe that anybody cares what you call it. And
civil union or whatever.
Civil union, you know, whatever. It's just the legal ramifications of it. It's whether or not, you know, you have the right to receive your partner's benefits, whether or not you have the right to receive their death benefits if they die. You know, I know police officers that have, you know, died in the line of duty and then their partners don't receive anything because they can't be considered legally. And it's something that's just like, why do you single out a particular group of people based on something so minute? Something so minute. We don't go out and ask hundreds and hundreds of straight people what they're doing in their bedroom. And I'm sure for the most part a lot of that is worse than, you know, whatever we could possibly be. It bothers me how concerned people are with what other people are doing in their bedroom. That means you're spending way too much time on people's sex lives and not nearly enough time on the things that are really important.
You think maybe they're just not getting enough sex?
It's possible.
Could be. I think they're just love. You know, I didn't plan to love a girl. I didn't ask to. If I could change it, I would have avoided a lot of things in my life that were negative experiences.
So you don't know of one person that's chosen to live that lifestyle?
No. It's really the lifestyle chooses you.
It chooses you.
It's not really a lifestyle. It's just.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but think of.
It's just like you're white and I'm white. I can't change that. Just like I can't change.
You were born that way, and could you go out and say, "Oh, I want to be Asian," you know?
Michael Jackson.
Right.
I mean,
if you have enough money, really, you could get anything surgically altered.
But, you know, I couldn't help but think of the former New Jersey Governor McGreevey, and, you know, people say, well, he chose to be gay. Well, he lost the governorship, he lost the marriage.
Lost his life.
I believe he lost, you know, primary custody of his children.
Right.
He lost all power, a lot of respect from a lot of people, and do you think someone would really choose that just to be with a man?
Right.
Exactly. I mean, would I have chosen to be ran off the road and almost killed because I was gay? No. And we're also asking not to get killed for something we can't even help.
Do you know anyone who did?
You know, like Matthew Shepard is the famous one.
We had a very good friend named Ryan Skipper that died about 2 years ago. And
in Polk County, Florida, in Juanita, Winter Haven area.
You guys were close friends?
Very close.
Yeah,
I used to live across the street from me.
What happened?
And there's a lot of speculation. They think he went on like an internet hookup, but honestly, you know, the people that were close to him and what I believe is that he, you know, saw someone, maybe he recognized him, maybe he went to school with him, you know, I'm not sure, and he gave him a ride somewhere.
Right.
And whatever happened, these two guys, stabbed him over 20 times, slit his throat. There was blood all over the car.
Left him in the trunk of his own car.
Yeah, they put him in the trunk, and I don't know if they took him somewhere or what, but then they
tried to sell the car. They were actually picked up by the police trying to sell it.
He was already dead.
Yes. Yeah, they dumped his body and drove around with the car all bloody for a couple days, bragging to their friends how they killed a faggot.
So, we're certain that's the reason he was killed?
Oh yeah, they said in open court, they said he was a faggot and he deserved to die. Absolutely.
Every movie you watch, every TV show you watch, that there's a joke at a gay person's expense or about a gay person, or you're at work and someone says something, calls someone a faggot, and everyone laughs. That's got to stop, because that is where this is.
Some people, some religious leaders have something to do with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. The word faggot is thrown around as if it's just an adjective about anything.
But it turns out that you have to go into rehab if you use the word faggot. So,
Fred Phelps convention with the Fred Phelps choir, they were singing "God Hates Fags" like it was a gospel song, and in the background there was this little 9-year-old boy holding up a sign that said, "Thank God for 9/11."
Do you think God feels that way?
No.
I don't think that God is very disappointed in humanity right now, is what I believe.
So why do these people have such strong anti-gay sentiment? Where do they get it from? The answer is the book of Leviticus. Leviticus. When you present a sacrifice, it must be a male with no defect. Its blood must be drained on all sides of the altar to be pleasing. You must not trim the hair on your temple or trim your beard. You must not eat the fat of any animal. Anyone who eats the fat or drinks the blood must be cut off from the community. You may only eat land animals with split hooves that chew the cud. Any others, such as swine, are unclean. You may never eat anything from the water that does not have fins and scales. It is unclean and detestable. When a man has an emission of semen, he must wash in water and will remain unclean until the next evening. When a woman has her menstrual period, she is unclean for 7 days, and anything she touches becomes unclean. If a woman bleeds longer than her usual menstrual cycle, she is unclean until 7 days after she stops bleeding. Then she must bring 2 pigeons to the priest to be made clean. Oh yeah, homosexuality is a sin. If these rules sound ridiculous, it's because they are, and yet the leaders of the religious right put so much weight on one single verse. If that's such a big deal, then why isn't it a sin to shave your beard? Is it wrong to eat pork? Or why is it okay to eat shrimp and oysters? And why doesn't a man have to wait 2 weeks to sleep with his wife after her period? I mean, these rules are in the very same book of the Bible, but those rules don't matter. Unfortunately, the religious right has singled out one rule to make themselves feel better or more moral than a group of people. Or to paraphrase Dr. Dobson, now that is a fruitcake interpretation of Leviticus. Okay, some of you are saying, but aren't there more verses against homosexuality? And the answer is yes, there is one more, written by Paul in his letter to the Romans. But in the very same chapter, he said adultery, boasting, jealousy, deceit, and being prideful, things us heterosexuals do, are equally wrong.